Hello, this is Christi with Prairie Quilt, and I wanted to show you today how to make your first cut with your ScanNCut DX. Today it's going to be cutting vinyl. So I have a piece of craft vinyl here, paper backed. So this is some fun vinyl that you can put on cards. Oops! I've put this one on the outside of a fun tumbler cup. You can do craft vinyl with about anything. Lots of projects can be used with craft vinyl. So let's make our first cut. So I have my standard mat here, and like I said in my opening the box video, I use my standard mat for 90% of everything. So here we go. So I have my mat, and doing craft vinyl, the vinyl needs to be face up. So I want to put it anywhere on my mat. I have my roller here because it's important to try to leave your fingertips off the mat so that your oils from your fingers don't absorb to the mat. So I have pressed it. Now, I can tell you with the ScanNCut SDX225 that the mats and the feeder system has become a little more particular with the corners, so be sure and not bend your corners of your mat or you'll have some trouble. So I'm going to bring my mat over and I'm going to load it. Now if you notice on this side here you have 3 buttons. You have your home button. This is your mat loading or unloading button and a pause button. Now when we cut vinyl, like I've mentioned in my opening the box video, you're going to use your blade with the black top. Remember, I said you use that with most everything. So now that I have my vinyl on here, I'm going to go pick a shape. Let's see. When we get the shape that we find, that we like, if you notice on this screen here, it gives you the size. At this time, I know that my piece of vinyl is only about 2.5 inches by approximately 3 inches. So the size that is shown here will be too big, so I can reduce the size here. I think that will work. I'm going to say okay. There is my snowflake, and I'm going to say okay. At this screen, you can choose one snowflake or you can make it multiple. So if you needed to cut several, you could change the number here from 1 to however many you need to cut. When it comes in on your mat on the screen, if you notice the snowflake goes up into the upper left-hand corner. But I have placed my vinyl right here on the mat. They don't call it a ScanNCut for no reason. We can scan and find our vinyl. So if you notice on this screen, we have Add, Edit, a grouping feature. We have this, what I call looks like an oven door, and a tool. We're going to pick what I call that looks like the oven door. At this time, it's going to tell you it's going to scan. And I'm going to say Start. Listen how quiet. I love that about this new model. Voila, it's done. Now, I am going to drag my snowflake over to my piece of vinyl. It may be hard for you to see, but there is a red box around my snowflake. And it appears to me when I look on here that the red box is touching the border edges of my vinyl. That could make me think that it may potentially run off of the edge of the vinyl, and I don't want that to happen. So I can zoom in to see if it's actually going to fit. I'm going to hit Edit, and right at the top here I have a zoom tool. It zooms to 200%. If I need it to be more, I could hit this down here at the bottom and take it up to 400%. Something that they have changed on this model, which is great, is they've added the ability to move with arrows on the screen. Come on. I think it's almost perfect. If I needed to move it any, then they have these nice adjustment tools right here, these arrows. So if I needed to just tap it a little to the left or right, I could, but it's like almost perfect. I couldn't do that again if I tried. So I'm going to say okay, and I'm happy with it. At this point, I need to go ahead and exit out of the edit portion. So I'm going to say okay, and I'm back to this screen. So let's go cut our snowflake. I'm going to say okay, and right here it tells me to please select an option. I hit please select. I have cut, draw, emboss, foil glue. If I go down a page, it says foil to foil. So you have many things you can do, but we're going to cut. Okay, at this screen, if you notice that you have the word cut, down here you have some verbiage that says pressure, it says auto, speed 5, half cut off. Whenever you cut your vinyl, you want to cut through half of the product. You want to leave the paper on the back. And that is because you need to weed the additional vinyl off that isn't part of your beautiful thing that you're cutting. So the extra needs to come off, and you need that paper left on the back so that you can apply your transfer tape to stick it to the product that you're going to stick it to. Because it's so flimsy, if you tried to peel it off and stick it on there, you're not going to have success. So I need my half cut to be on. I want to cut only half of the product. So I'm going to go to my tool right here. On page 2, you're going to see where it says half cut, on or off. I need to turn that on, and I'm going to say okay. Something new about this model is it has the auto blade adjustment. So when it comes, when I hit start, it's going to come over here, it's going to go down, it's going to find the depth to the mat, from the blade to the mat, and then it's going to go to the product, it's going to find the depth to the mat and back off a half. So let's start. Here it comes, it's checking the depth, and it backed off, and then it cuts. Whisper quiet. Congratulations, you made your first cut. We're going to say okay. I'm going to press the mat unload button. Bring my mat right over here. And I'm going to get my little tool out of here. This storage tray is fantastic. This is one of my favorite things that Brother added. It's the metal spatula and the hook set. There we go. Now we need to weed off the extra that I told you. Look at that. That is a perfect cut. Take out the center. And I am left with a snowflake. So at this point now, with this vinyl, I would apply my transfer tape to the top of this to make it stick to it. Peel it off this paper, and then I could apply it to whatever I choose to apply it to. So there you have it. You've made your first cut with vinyl. Have a lot of fun.